Well, who's that? Oh, Simba. What are you doing here? Hey guys, welcome to my channel again. And it's been a while since the last time I filmed myself with my car, and because we had some, I think, major problem with the transmission leak, and because the oil leaking problem from the gearbox, I haven't worked on my car for a while, and because we tried to fix the problem first, and it's lucky we finally fixed the problem, and we add a couple of things to make the engine slightly better. Yeah, because we just put another breather hose with well the fittings, so much better fitting on the intake side as well. So we get rid of the OEM fittings and put a 10 end fittings, so with a much larger braided hose, and I secure my catch can. So the angle is actually not too bad. It's about so like this, and it doesn't have much oil, and it's easier to drain the oil as well with this pretty big space here. And my cat Simba is doing great as well. But you shouldn't lie in here. Okay. And then now the car is pretty much problem free, so no oil leaking at all. But before it was pretty massive. So I'll show you some photos. Actually, I'll show you on my phone so you will understand what was wrong with it. Yeah, because the problem is, I'll show you some video first. Yeah, so this is my car running, and if you can see, the oil is dripping. So we found a problem during the tuning, and so after tuning we found about like maybe 200 or 300 mil oil on the ground, and I was like, oh man, what was that? And found out probably from the transmission output shaft. Later on, so we just focused on replacing the oil seal from the output shaft, and we actually replaced 2 of them. So after the first one, so I drove home, and still I can see the wet spot, and after the hard drive I can see the oil dripping as well. And we just figured out what could be some other things. We couldn't figure out what's going on. If you check out this photo, so you can see a lot of oil on the ground after the car parking overnight, and so that's why, yeah, you can see it's become pretty. Also the drive shaft area, so from all the way to the back of the car, so all the oil is just all over the place. I think that's pretty good rust protection for the chassis. And to make it even worse, the gear lever, the gear lever housing also has some leakings, and so that's why we try to fix the gearbox housing, adding some gasket RTVs. So let me show you some photos. So this is the short shifter, and also the housing area also on the back. So we didn't take a photo, but the underneath, so we replaced the gasket, and we add some gasket here, RTV, and we changed another oil seal for the transmission, right? So we think, oh, maybe the problem will be fixed, but it turned out it's still the same, so it's still dripping. But so after that, the gear lever location is dry, so we focus on this area again. So we did some series of investigations, and we finally found out. So the problem is, so this is the problem we finally found out. The reason why my gearbox is leaking, because if you see this gap around here, right? So this step, so the seal, oil seal is sitting between the step, also the smaller diameter. So just you can see the mark here. That's the edge of the oil seal. That's why the oil is keep leaking from this area, right? So basically I was driving my car like this for almost 2 years, and probably the previous owner also experienced this, but I'm not sure, because when I bought the car, I think the oil level is not that good already, probably just 60% of the actual capacity, just around 1.5 liter or something. So it's supposed to have around 2 to 2.5 liters. So that's why sometimes I can feel some crunchy gear shiftings and misshift, something like that. Now the shift lever, so it's really smooth. So I can basically sitting, let me show you. So when the car is parked at cold temperature, so even now it's pretty easy to shift into all the gears without needing to press the clutch. So it's really smooth. Even at low temperature, you can see it's really smooth now. So pretty much we cut the drive shaft and we shortened for about 1 centimeter. And so if you think about it, I'll just show you an example like this. So for example, this is the tip of the drive shaft yoke, the first piece. So the transmission output shaft is supposed to go into this hole, right? And so we cut the rear for about 1 centimeter. So before it was too long, so the back is too long. So keep pushing the seal to the end of the edge, so where the step was. So now we shorten the yoke, I mean the first piece of the drive shaft. You cannot short here, but they cut here and make it shorter and weld together. So now the seal is sealing to here. So before was around here and now it's here. So on the smooth area, so there's no oil leaking anymore. So that's where the oil seal is supposed to sit on. And yesterday I was still nervous, but this morning when I put out this clean carpet, so no even one drop, and also not a single oil stain on the surface. So I was really happy now. And yeah, so now the engine is 90% finished. So I'm not gonna do anything else right now. I'll probably adding the lambda sensor. I'm not sure if I should get that or not. But I think it's not bad if I have a lambda sensor, so that will be easier for the ECU to adjust stuff, right? And relatively safer for the engine. So now it's pretty safe because we have the oil pressure sensor and fuel pressure sensor. All have the safety features. So if any of the pressure is lost, so the engine will probably go into the limp mode or shut down to protect the engine. So now I'm still hesitating on the interior restoration. I'm not sure if it's better to leave it like this, the bare chassis, or put the rear interior back. So what do you guys think? So because if I want to put this back, I have to make some cuttings around here to clear the rear strut bar. Yeah, I have to cut the plastic so this bar can fit. But yeah, I think it's still alright to be like this. But I still want to make the interior slightly cleaner. What do you think? Give me some suggestions. And now, yeah, I just need to drive for another 2,000 kilometers. So I'm gonna do the oil change again. You can see the kilometers is pretty high now. 300,000. But I still have another 2,000 kilometers to go before the oil change. Right now the engine is really healthy. Somebody's here. Yep. The oil is pretty good. No oil leaking, no oil burning. See, the level is still pretty good on the full. Alright, so just want to give you guys some update on my car. So everything is good now. So I will drive it a lot more and probably meet you guys sometime. Yep.